رب العرش أن يشفك أسأل الله العظيم رب العرش أن يشفك.
Celebrate in style at the Grand Royale, Luton's premier banqueting hall, offering elegance, luxury and seamless event planning. Host up to 750 guests with top-tier catering, stunning decor, photography, videography, hair and makeup, DJ, dance floor and expert event management, all under one roof. Whether it's a wedding, birthday or corporate event, let's witness the happy family moments together. Call 01582 551913 or visit grandroyale.co.uk today.
Did you know that over 361,000 children die every year due to lack of clean water? Clean water is not a luxury, but a basic human right. UKIM is
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Friday Night Live. Welcome to our listeners. You're listening to Inspire FM 105.1 FM. With me, Zafar Iqbal, and with me is Abu Bakr Cooper. I get it wrong all the time. I keep saying the Abdul that used to sit here before. You know the one.
Sorry, viewers and listeners. It's because our other regular presenter, he's
occupied.
He's occupied with other things, with work this evening. So I fill in when either of those two guys can't come. So.
Indeed. Welcome, listeners. You are listening to Friday Night Live. I am the standing presenter. AAG, should we call him AAG?
I don't know what you're talking about.
ABC, and AAG.
Oh, I was okay.
All right. Anyway, so yes, Friday Night Live. Welcome to our listeners in Luton and surrounding areas, and people who are listening to us through our partner networks in the various cities throughout the UK, through our social media and our website, etc. Welcome to the show. We have a number of topics we want to discuss today, issues which relate to the local community and also the national community from a particular background, from Muslim background, essentially. But the topics, the way we discuss them, etc., is open to anybody to discuss. We do have lines open as well if you want to ring in. 01582481822. You can ring in and join our conversation. It is going to be a conversation, as is always, a combination of guest experts who present their views on topical issues of the day, and also commentary from ourselves here, who are and our co-presenter, ABC. So the topics of discussion today is Pakistan and Kashmir, Kashmir and Pakistan. Topic ABC. Well, actually, let me give you a bit of a background. So the Kashmir, which is part of Pakistan, and there is Kashmir is split between India, and there's Kashmir that's part of India is called the IH, India held Kashmir, and Kashmir that's held by Pakistan is called Azad Kashmir. Right. Now, people of Azad Kashmir have been revolting, not literally, but revolting, against the, I guess, the policies of the current Pakistani and Azad Kashmir government. The Azad Kashmir government is meant to be semi-autonomous. It has its own assembly, it has its own prime minister and president. However, there is elements of control from Pakistani central government. So the one of the reasons for the marches and the demonstrations and revolting, shall we say, is because of dissatisfaction with the governing altogether, whether it's a central government in Pakistan or the government that's in Azad Kashmir.
Because they've made quite a long list of demands, haven't they?
Indeed, and the key among those demands really is around the fact that, like everywhere else in the world, things are getting more and more expensive. People of that part of the world are not necessarily at the income levels perhaps that we were at, so they're finding life difficult to sort of deal with effectively. So that's part of the argument. The other part of the argument really is about bad governance. I don't know whether, if you're involved or know much about the Pakistani the governing structure, there is a culture there, right, of exuberance, shall we say, in the political classes, basically. So whenever they want to go somewhere, they have to have there's a term that they use for it. They call it protocol, but effectively what it means is that every man and his dog with government funding, security with weapons on display, have to travel in a cavalcade, so to speak, to show that somebody's coming, somebody of importance is coming. And
but this unrest is actually causing some quite worrying things, because they've cut off mobile phone communications.
So I mean, this is typical of the central.
Because one of our colleagues, I don't know if you've spoken to him, I spoke to him just before you arrived. He can't get in touch with his grandpa.
Indeed, the internet. Well, to be honest, I can't get in touch with my relatives, to be honest, right? But
you've got relatives.
Yeah, I've got relatives there as well.
I'm
trying to get hold of. There's people from here that have gone. We could speak to them up until Islamabad, right? And then they went, as they headed towards Kashmir, contact was lost with them. So it is quite disturbing. So you don't know what's going on. But that's a normal reaction from, well, I say normal, but normal for Pakistan, where it's slightest sign of trouble, basically, right? And they pull the plug on the internet and telecommunications, etc. So nobody can see anything around the world. So
isn't that going to cause more anxiety? Surely it would be.
Is part, I understand it's part of the.
Surely it would make more sense engage with the people rather than doing that. That's going to make everyone more anxious, especially. Plus, as well, they know that there's a huge diaspora of people, especially in this country and other parts of the world from that region. That's actually just raised anxiety, isn't it, surely?
Indeed. And I think you've seen some of the UK MPs. There is actually an APG or party parliamentary group on Kashmir, and they've voiced their concerns about the fact that connectivity has been dismantled or taken off air. And also one or two of the MPs, elected MPs from up north, have actually, went on TikTok and voiced their concern. So it is concerning. And the reaction from the Pakistani government has been the usual sort of, fire live bullets, fire, rubber bullets or whatever.
They've used live ammunition.
Absolutely. 10 people have died, basically. Apparently, is firing happening from both sides. I don't know who the sides are. Right, but both sides, and some policemen have been killed, and then some civilians have been killed. But usually, as a scare tactic of the agency is to kill a few people, right, and then let people know that we're serious. Turn the internet off so nobody hears about it, right? So, and then people flee. But in this case, it doesn't appear to be happening. So that's the background, really.
Sorry.
Right. Okay. So that's a little bit of a background. We're going to talk.
So is it Javed Khan or Shiraz Khan?
Right. Okay. We're going to go to our expert guest, right, who's on the line, who's going to talk more about, I guess, from an expert's point of view, because we're a layman, I guess, at the end of the day, we're giving our view. We've got Shiraz Akhtar, right, who's a correspondent, who's a journalist from UK. He has a particular interest in Azad Kashmir. I think he hails from Azad Kashmir. Assalamualaikum, Shiraz.
Walaikum salam, Zafar Bhai, and your colleague and the listeners. Thank you. Thank you having me in your show. I was also a presenter on Inspire FM Aapki Awaaz. It was very famous for 3 years, from 2007 to
Yes,
2010.
you,
uh,
you did bless this station as well with your
yes,
thank you very
yes.
much.
Um, anyway, but I
And
think
we
you
got
have.
Javed. So we got Javed Khan as well. Let me introduce him as well, right, so that we can kick off together. Javed, Assalamu alaikum. Perhaps you can introduce yourself.
Walaikum Salam. My name is Javed Rana. I'm a Islamabad-based journalist. I've been working with different international news outlets, and currently, I've been more engaged with the Turkish news channel A News as a political analyst, more particularly speaking on genocide in Gaza. Basically, it's all Middle East, South Asia, and bigger world affairs.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the show. Shiraz, sorry, I cut you off. You're going to comment on the situation in Azad Kashmir. What's the latest that you're hearing from over there?
Yeah, thank you. There is a heavy delegation from the central government from Pakistan right now in Muzaffarabad, including the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Raja Pervez Ashraf, and quite heavy delegation is there. It is second day that they are engaged talking about resolving this issue, which is chartered of demand, which is 38 demands are there. You quite actually gave a brief in your intro. You told you highlighted all the issues, but there is a deadlock on two main issues. One is that there are people, Kashmiri people who are migrated in Pakistan after the partition 1947, called the refugees. They have 12 seats in Azad Kashmir Assembly, but they are living since 70, 80 years in Pakistan. So Joint Awami Action Committee's biggest demand is this: to abolish this seats, because these people are settled in Pakistan, they're taxpayers in Pakistan. So Pakistan government is bound to look after them, and they should give them chance to present themselves in the National Assembly and Senate. So there is, I think there are signs that this is they are very close to make a deal. The Joint Action Committee basically is what you call it. And when Pakistan central government is, for example, one party government, then they always give this 12 seats from Pakistan and make the government in Azad Kashmir. In 2018, when Imran Khan PTI won the election, so there was a Muslim League in Noon's and a league in Azad Kashmir. They were ruling, but they did not change the Prime Minister of Azad Kashmir, and they never normally do. But in 2021, there was election in Azad Kashmir. Imran Khan PTI party won out of 53 seats, 40 seats. But when they did not like Imran Khan, and they topple Imran Khan regime in 2022, then they changed the government, Prime Minister in Azad Kashmir. So when they changed the government in Azad Kashmir, one Prime Minister took over, then another Prime Minister took it over. So they made because Imran Khan party, the member of Legislative Assembly was they made them to basically withdraw association with PTI, and they made it forward block. When they made it forward block, then they basically a government was formed which was irrelevant from the people of Azad Kashmir. They were not really they won the election with the mandate of Imran Khan or PTI, but they became establishments stooges. So then they could not represent the people of Azad Kashmir, and then this Joint Awami Action Committee was found, and that's why the people are supporting them. No, at the moment, 94% people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, including overseas Pakistan Kashmiri, they are supporting Joint Awami Action Committee. Everybody is on the street or on the road right now since 29th September. What they've done, that there is complete blackout of media, not only blackout, but they are on the mainstream media, they are giving the news which are false news. For example, uh, they are basically without any arm or anything, the protesters, but they send the Punjab police, the police from Pakistan. So there were clashes between among them. So unverified reports are suggesting that there are 10 people been so far killed. So this is all happening right now. But when the Joint Action Committee talks about the corruption, and for example, Azad Kashmir is a small place, uh, 4,000 approximately square kilometers, the total area. 4.5 million approximately is the population. It has got 10 districts, and the budget for Azad Kashmir is 310 billion US, no, 10 billion rupees. But 260 billion is spent about protocols. They spend on protocols, and they spend on the TADA and the pensions and these things. Now, total, for example, at this moment, after 33 ministers are the biggest, what you call it, the burden on the state treasury, the budget, and 6 advisors are there. Then you have a prime minister, then you have a president, then you have a IG from Pakistan, you have a chief secretary from Pakistan. But this is the big expenditure which is going in the people's money, and whatever is the developmental budget, it is already corruption in this as well. So basically, what you say, if some minister was retired or prime minister is retired, so he will get the pension and the protocol as well. So this movement is the strike is taking place in Azad Kashmir. It is not this against the state of Pakistan. It is not that they are stood up because they don't want Pakistan or Pakistan army. This is basically for the public rights. That's why they got support throughout the world. For example, in UK, when you talk about UK, we have approximately 2 million people in UK, but in approximately 1.2 million are Kashmiris. So we have, like, for example, 15 member of parliament, and we have 9 parliamentarians are from Azad Kashmir. We have 3 House of Lords member of House of Lords, and 3 are basically from Kashmiris. For example, in your town, Luton, we have a lot of people who are dominating from Azad Kashmir.
Can I just bring I mean, we're digressing a little bit. Can I bring Javed up in? I think you made some very good points in terms of the grievances of the people, in terms of the comparison of the overall budget versus the burden from the political class, so to speak. Javed, if I can bring you in, I do seem to remember that when the central government came to power, they offered the same sort of packages, right, to the central government employees. So is this a unique thing for Azad Kashmir, or is it a common thing among the political class within Pakistan generally?
I think people in Azad Kashmir, the fact that they've got together, the fact they stand united, that is something extraordinary. Now, before I come to the particular demands, but let me explain some of the salient features. I think it is unprecedented in Pakistan's history that the people in Azad Kashmir, that they are so united. Their strength lies in their unity. And that is a biggest source of concern for our country's military and intelligence establishment, which has been calling shots. You know it from in Pakistan to Azad Kashmir. They've been picking up people and selecting them as a prime minister, making people as members of the Azad Kashmir parliament. And that is based on mostly on rigged election, particularly what they're talking about, these 12 seats which are meant for the Kashmiri Muhajireen, the migrants. I think these are basically, this is an easy way for countries' intelligence network to rig the elections and bring the people of their own choice into the Azad Kashmir parliament. I think, I mean, this is not the first time that this committee of a joint action committee is coming up with a similar demand. Most of the demands are genuine, they make sense, and the fear is that the scale at which they have shown unity, that would be a lingering source of concern for the military and also the political parties, mainstream political parties in Islamabad, because the same template of demands, if that is echoed by people of Pakistan, particularly in Punjab, that will be a kind of a tip-off, that would be a disaster for them politically. So I think this is a bigger problem. But my understanding of the situation is that their demands, most of them are going to be accepted. The military, through political parties, is resisting about abolishing these 12 seats. These 12 seats must be abolished. And if these are not abolished, then at least these seats should be handed back to the people inside Azad Kashmir, because the day the military loses its control over the political affairs, in the election affairs in Kashmir, that means I think there will be more developments, there will be more independent leadership in Azad Kashmir who can better fight for the case of Kashmiri cause, and more particularly, there will be ripple effects onto the entire Pakistan. And this is a kind of a lease of life for the mainstream opposition party of Imran Khan, the PTI, because they tried to do the similar thing in terms of protest over the last 2-3 years, and the military, through excessive use of force, have suppressed all these protests. And dozens of people have been killed over the period of that time, and the PTI stand now exhausted. So I think in a broader context, some good things are happening, and my understanding is that the federal government would certainly be forced to give in to these demands.
So the numbers killed now, you're saying, is actually dozens. I thought it was only about 10, so it's gone up.
No. I think I was referring about what has been happening with the PTI in Pakistan, because over the period of the time, the number of the people Pakistani who've been killed.
There has been live fire, though, hasn't there, Javed Bhai? I mean, given that there's been live fire towards the public, I mean, where do you see this going as an expert on the ground there? How do you think it's going to play out?
Well, I think this is a dangerous situation. Dangerous in the sense that, geostrategically speaking, Azad Kashmir remains a disputed territory. Now, the problem with Kashmiris are that it's a very small territory. Frankly speaking, it cannot be an independent state. There have been demands, I know it. They cannot join India for obvious reasons. It's a kind of homogeneous population with the rest of Pakistan. But I think the policies of the military is driving them away. And I think this is a problematic. Strategically, it doesn't make sense. And I think part of the reason the military will have to give in is because of the fact that there will be at least more and more propaganda by Indian channel, which is already there, that as if there is a separatist movement, which is not the case. These people have a general.
Can I comment on this? Why is this happening? Why?
If you can comment on the fact that
why it's happening, Zafar Bhai, what brother is saying from Islamabad, why it's happening? Because when you black out the media, and the social media is also, there's no internet services, there is no telephone communication whatsoever. And you mentioned earlier about.
Can you comment on? We've got about 4 minutes. Can you comment on the fact that part of the nervousness of the people? I mean, Javed Bhai has actually picked up on this. Part of the nervousness of the Kashmiri people is the fact that there's a small territory, and there's a movement, or there's some thinking that should be absorbed as part of Punjab, and people are against that. Do you think that is a driving force?
I haven't said that. Let me explain.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking Shiraz Sahab to comment on that. Do you
so
think
my understanding is this, Zafar Bhai. Same thing happened with the PTI. Today, if PTI is allowed to hold a protest or rallies in Pakistan, I think big number will turn up. They will do the same thing. But whenever they come out, okay, in KPKA, where is PTI's government is, they are free to hold the rallies and they are able to do a protest. But in Punjab, whenever they tried in last year, 26th November, there was a protest in Islamabad, and you remember so many people being killed in that through the state fires. And they tried to crack down, and this is reportedly everywhere. So since that, there is no such rally took place in Punjab. For example, if you are on the
Can you just
media in your
we're running out of time a little bit. Can you also comment on the fact that there was a section opposing this march, right, within the political class in Azad Kashmir? There is
but obviously because there
is a political party there that was actually counter demonstrating. Can you comment on that, sir?
A brother from Islamabad, Javed, he quite rightly said, these are the people who are irrelevant. These are the puppets.
But it's a political party, it's a Muslim conference.
They become complete irrelevant because they don't have the public support, because they don't stand for the public. And why they are against the portion, very small numbers, the ruling elite, they are running this political system as a family businesses. So that's why they become irrelevant. For example, somebody who is from Kotli or Poonch or whatever, he goes on, and then his generation, sons and brothers and sisters comes in the politics. So this is a family run business for them, and they are profiteering from it. That's why they are against the demands, the genuine demand, which is the people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir. We've been protesting, lobbying for international airport, but we've been promised through the High Commission in London that there will be a Mirpur airport. We've done the petition in Central Mosque, in Luton, in UK wise, but there is nothing happen in terms of Prime Minister announced that we will be making the feasibility for this, and we will send the notices. But I follow up this one, and nothing happened.
Shahaz by Javed, but I got about 30 seconds right for last comments from Javed. We can conclude.
I think this is a very positive sign. My understanding is that the fact that the Kashmiris are united, the fact that they have the ability to choke Kashmir from the geostrategic positions, unlike in Punjab, because there are plain areas where military was able to suppress PTI through excessive use of force by using police and other security forces. I think since Kashmiri have this advantage, therefore they will have their demand accepted by the military. I know military is not there.
Thank you, Javed Saib. Thank you. Shiraz Bhai, thank you very much for your contributions there. Listeners, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back after these messages.
Continue listening to Inspire FM. Assalamu alaikum everybody, it's me Ali Official. I just want to give a huge shout out to Inspire FM at 105.1 FM. Make sure you tune in, they have great content. Take care, stay smiling, and peace.
For 30 years, we've been opening doors for small businesses and large, opening fully stocked fridges and same-day deliveries, opening birthdays and graduations and new homes and happy tears and new shouldn't-haves, opening ambulances and life-saving support, opening roads that open up cities and countries and continents, opening up the world. See how the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter can open doors for your business at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Landlords, let us take away the hassle of letting your property. Our comprehensive services include tenant vetting, rent collection and service charges, maintenance and repairs. Ideal Properties has 2 branches and have been established over 20 years and have gained a wealth of knowledge and experience.
If you are thinking of selling or letting your property, then speak to a member of our knowledgeable team about a free, no-obligation market appraisal.
We can also offer guaranteed rental income.
Contact us on either Luton 721110 or 696050. Ideal Properties. Service with a smile, whatever your needs.
Allah's Apostle ﷺ said, Allah has 99 names, 100 less one, and he who memorized them all by heart will enter paradise. To count something means to know it by heart.
Universal Clutches on Cosgrove Way in Luton offer more than just clutch repairs. We also now cover MOTs, servicing, brakes, suspension, and vehicle recoveries. We've got you covered whether you drive a manual or semi-automatic car, van, or truck. We aim to provide a quick and reliable service, and Universal Clutches are an AA and RAC approved garage. For a reliable service you can trust, call 01582 876 300 or find Universal Clutches on Google, Instagram, and Facebook.
Biscott Pharmacy, your one-stop health and beauty pharmacy in Luton, stockist of over 8,000 health and beauty products. At Biscott Pharmacy, we offer a range of services, including health advice and repeat prescriptions for collection and delivery to your home. We also offer a Hajj and Umrah vaccination. Come in and see us and ask about our stop smoking service. We're open 7 days a week till late, including bank holidays. Biscott Pharmacy, 157A Biscott Road, Luton. Call 457709.
Can you imagine losing your parents and seeing your home destroyed? Thousands of children in Gaza have lost one or both of their parents. Agorsh UK invites you to sponsor an orphan in Gaza and provide them with life-changing care, protection, and hope. Let's help orphans to rebuild their lives. Donate your zakat and sadaqah for an orphan in Gaza today. £500 per year or £42 per month. Visit Agorsh UK.
Oh, Hillary, I was going to use newspaper display advertising.
But
it costs £10 per inch.
And that's too expensive?
Oh, indeed it is. I want to sell a 10-foot ladder.
Oh, Roger, invest in an ear-catching advertising campaign on this radio station instead. It's a great way to tell people about your products and service.
For details, click on inspirefm.org, then advertise. From the studios of Inspire FM, the time is now 6:30.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Friday Night Live. This is Zafar Iqbal and you're listening to Inspire FM 105.1 FM. With me is Abu Bakr Cooper, who's co-presenting today this show. And we were discussing the situation in the Pakistani side of the Kashmir. There are some marches and demonstrations going on there with people.
I suspect we're far from that being over. I think we're going to end up revisiting that quite soon, aren't we?
Probably. I hope not, because I'm flying out there soon, yeah. So not.
Ideal for you to be a guest on the ground there.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So we're going to move on to the next topic of discussion, really. You might have been hearing that up to 50-odd aid vessels have been heading towards Gaza from all over the world. There have been people representing many communities around the world, many nations, many communities around the world, who are exercising the international right, I guess, to break the blockade of Gaza and deliver aid to the people of Gaza, people of Palestine. And there are in many boats of different sizes. There are activists, there are human rights activists, etc. on these flotilla. It's called the Smooth Flotilla, if you didn't know, if you weren't listening to any of our programs previously. Yeah. And the Smooth Flotilla has been inching its way towards Gaza. And we are going to be joined by somebody from the flotilla, from a boat. We're going to be joined by Huwaida Aref, who's a human rights lawyer, who's going to speak to us about the situation and what the situation is there as they head towards Gaza. And also we've got on the line Adam Shapiro, who works for Dawn, which is basically a human rights organization based in America. So can I welcome you both, Adam and Huwaida? First of all, if I can ask Huwaida to give us a situation on the ground. Approximately where are you, Huwaida, in the flotilla, and what have you witnessed so far?
Hi, good evening. So I am speaking to you from the boat Conscience, which is a designated media and medical workers boat. We have 92 civilians from 22 countries around the world here with us. And it was the latest and the largest vessel to launch in this global effort of civilian vessels to break Israel's illegal siege on Gaza. Over the past couple of days, we have watched the Israeli genocidal forces illegally attack the vessels, the smaller vessels that were ahead of us. And this, of course, follows a pattern of their attack on civilian vessels that have the right to sail in international waters, and they also have the legal right to sail into Palestinian territorial waters, not just to deliver aid. Of course, we are carrying as much aid as we can, but the aid that these boats carry are certainly not enough to deal with the crisis that Israel has deliberately created. And that is not the point, because Palestinians don't want to live on aid. The point is we need to break the siege, because Israel has absolutely no right not only to impose such a siege that is a form of collective punishment and a war crime and being used as a tool of the genocide, but also has no right under international law to control Palestinian territorial waters. And therefore, we are not, this is of course not the first flotilla. Personally, I have been sailing since 2008, and we will keep on.
I think we're getting to the point, it's beyond the issue of looking at it as a crime or a war crime. We're getting to the point now, it's actually an unspeakable evil, isn't it? There's
absolutely. I think most people
there's just no
have
words to describe what's going on, really.
Exactly. There is no word that I find strong enough. Even genocide just does not feel strong enough to explain the evil that we are dealing with here, and it's just horrifying. It's horrifying beyond words that this is the world that certain governments, of course Israel, but the United States and certain Western governments want us to accept, and also other governments. I'm not letting off the Arab governments and others that aren't actively challenging this blockade. To say that you're sending aid to Gaza is not sufficient, and it's actually collaborating with Israel's blockade, because if you are not forcing your aid in, you don't need to collaborate and organize with Israel to do airdrops or to come through the sea or to drive through Rafah. You need to force your way in, because Israel has no legal authority to control these borders. And it is all a war crime. And unless you are actively trying to break it, these countries that pretend they're trying to help, they are complicit.
Yeah, of course, I've seen in some news outlets the Israeli point of view, which is that this is a legitimate blockade in a war situation, basically. So your thoughts on that?
I would love to give you my thoughts on that. This blockade is certainly not new. Israel imposed it in 2006, and even before that, since 1967, Israel has controlled the movement of Palestinians in and out of Gaza. In 2006, they imposed this stringent blockade that destroyed the economy of Gaza and was leading to deaths, because they don't let in certain medicines and medical equipment, and they don't let people out to get the care that they need. If you can imagine living in a city where you're walled in all the way around, and a hostile force determines whether or not you get food that day, whether or not you can get the medical attention you need. That's what Palestinians have been living under since 2006. And back then, it was a form of collective punishment. It was declared as such by human rights experts. And collective punishment is a war crime. And yet our governments did nothing about it. That's why we started sailing in 2008 to confront this. If we're looking at what's happening today, it is clear Israel is using this blockade as a tool of its genocide. There is no question that they've engineered a famine, which is also not only a war crime, but a crime against humanity when you look at the massive scale on which it has been imposed. And so to say that this is not an armed conflict where a blockade or a siege is actually a tactic. It's a war tactic, but Israel controls the Gaza. When you control a territory, you don't have the right to declare war on that territory, and that's exactly what a siege and a blockade is. Israel is using war tactics against this entire civilian population that is under its total control. So Israel is responsible for the health and well-being of the Palestinian people, and so there is no legal authority for Israel whatsoever to control this. It is an unlawful blockade. About that, there is no question.
Indeed. So if I could bring Adam, if you can comment on the fact that the UK government has moved in terms of recognizing Palestine. Do you think in your mind that has in some ways put the burden on the UK to actually protect this flotilla because they're actually going into Palestinian territory?
Well, regardless of the recognition of the state of Palestine by the UK government, we should note that the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, ruled already that because there was the possibility or the plausibility that genocide was being committed, that all states signatory, that are participating in the ICJ, which includes the UK government, had an obligation to take steps to ensure that there isn't a genocide. And that's also part of the Genocide Convention, which the UK is a signatory to. That would include the provision of humanitarian assistance or ensuring that humanitarian assistance is able to arrive in Gaza. And there were measures that the ICJ ruled on requiring Israel to not impede.
Adam, we're going to have to take a short break for the Adhan. So this is it's Maghrib time here, so we're going to take a short break. And we're going to continue after the break to do the discussion after that. So listeners, stay tuned. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back after this message, obviously.
Assalamu alaikum. In Luton and its surrounding areas, it is now time for Salatul Maghrib.
This azan has been sponsored by Ideal Properties. Contact us on 01582 72 11110 or log on to www.idealpropertiesltd.co.uk.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته إنك لا تخلف الميعاد.
Welcome back, listeners. Right, okay, so before the break, we talking to Adam. He was giving his views on the fact that if the UK has recognized, UK, Canada, and a few other nations have recognized the state of Palestine, whether that makes a difference. So Adam, continue. So the onus is now on the UK to provide assistance, humanitarian assistance. Is that the point you were making before the break?
Yeah, the onus has been on the UK and the other governments, regardless of their recognition of the state of Palestine. Now that we have
because of the ICJ ruling,
because of the ICJ ruling, exactly, and also and there also should be steps to be taken to prevent genocide under the Genocide Convention as well, separate from humanitarian assistance. Additionally, given that there are UK citizens that have been part of these ships and UK citizens have been participating in these ships from, I think, almost the day that they started years ago, as Hueda indicated. States have an obligation to protect their citizens. And what's happening is that Israel is boarding these ships and hijacking them in international waters. This is about the law of the seas, actually, and this is about the freedom of navigation across open seas. This is not happening in Israeli territorial waters. It's not even happening in
kidnapping, isn't it?
It is kidnapping. It is exactly kidnapping. And Israel has now kidnapped, in this latest wave, 500 at one time. It's kidnapped well over 1,000 people, and probably closer to 2,000 people over the years. And our governments treat it as if it's, some sort of normal bureaucratic procedure. This is utterly insane, and it's shameful that the UK government, among others, accepts that Israel can go out, not only commit piracy by capturing people in international waters, but prior to this, the ships were attacked with drones and through other means of sabotage, which we all know Israel was responsible for. And so it's carrying out transnational repression. It's carrying out acts of piracy. I mean, it's a rogue regime at this point.
But the reality we're in, none of this could possibly happen without America's backing. And the reality is it's America's war just as much as it's Israel. How much is there starting to be a change in public opinion amongst the American public, or do you think things are not changing against the status quo?
I would just amend your characterization, say it's not America's war, because it's not a war. I would say that this is America's genocide, the same as it's Israel's genocide going on. And yes, I would say that public opinion is changing here in the United States. We've seen that in polling, certainly among those who identify as Democrats or independents. The majority is now sort of against what Israel is doing and against support of Israel.
Yeah,
but even among Republicans, including
Bernie Sanders has been very vocal in the Senate, hasn't he?
Yep. Bernie Sanders for a long time, but others now. I mean, even MAGA, Trump supporting MAGA Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene are coming out and speaking out about what's happening. Not because she has any love for Palestinians, but simply because they don't want to support anything
through the MAGA agenda. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that tide is changing, but unfortunately among the elites and among, the political class, certainly in the White House these days, things have not changed. And we still very much see a hardcore extremist Zionist agenda here in the United States.
Indeed. Just quickly, Huwaida, we're going to talk about the incident in the synagogue in a minute. We've got some guests lined up for that as well. So just final thoughts, words from yourself, Huwaida, your thoughts and what your thoughts of the colleagues are, in terms of you proceeding with your sort of flotilla, etc.
Yeah, thank you. Just really quickly, because you were talking about the UK responsibility, I will note, I don't know how many of your listeners know that a number of the ships in the flotilla were flagged by the United Kingdom, and a boat that I was sailing on 2 months ago, the Handala, which was a boat for the children of Gaza, carrying baby formula and teddy bears for Gaza, flagged in the UK. So when it's flagged in the UK on the high seas, this is sovereign UK territory. And we called on the UK to not allow Israel to attack this vessel. It is sovereign UK territory. And the UK was silent. Even after they attacked us with a UK national on board, they did nothing. So they even go as far as, it's not only that they're letting Israel commit these crimes against Palestinians, they are letting Israel commit crimes against their own citizens and their own territory without doing anything. That's how subservient they are. And I think people should be rising up about this. It's absolutely outrageous. And as far as what we are planning, we are going to continue sailing. The world that they are trying to create for us is not one where we accept, where you see a live stream genocide and we don't do anything about it. We let it continue, where there are no human rights protections, no international law, and its brutality and might is right. That is a world that is dangerous for everybody. So we will keep sailing. This boat that I'm on, full of media and medics, going to support their colleagues in Gaza, who have been not only being killed, but they're being targeted for trying to do their jobs and saving lives and reporting on what's happening.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adam, and thank you, Huwaida. I wish you best of luck. Wish you best of luck, and hopefully you will succeed in delivering at least a message to the Israeli government as a minimum, if not the aid to the people of Gaza. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Listeners, we're going to move on to a slightly different topic. You have been listening to the headlines in the last couple of days. There has been an attack on a synagogue up in Manchester. A number of people have been killed. 2 people have been killed, and a number have been injured. Horrific attack on a place of worship. We just wanted to get some views from the local community. We've got a representative from the Luton Council of Faiths. We've got Professor Zafar Khan, who's on the line with us, and we've got Peter Siegel, who's our regular commentator on this show. So we're going to move on to Professor Zafar Saib. Assalamu alaikum, Zafar. Can you welcome to Friday Night Live?
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much for having me on.
Yes. Your thoughts on what happened last couple of days, please, if you don't mind, from
Well,
Yes.
our thoughts are with the people who have been affected, and we issued a statement as a Council of Faiths condemning this attack on a place of worship, a synagogue where people were praying, and it is a very sad, in fact, development, and it has left us very worried because this you see there's a lot of a lot of sort of hate going around in Britain, and as you know, Britain is a diverse country, and we particularly here in Luton, we live in a diverse town, a town which is has been called as a super diverse for perhaps 10-15 years. So I mean, we have we sense a lot of, in fact, we see a lot of hate being spewed out by certain people and certain sort of ideologies, and people who are perhaps inclined more towards creating divisions rather than create a unity, and faith communities have actually as a result of this attack in Manchester, faith communities have actually rallied around the Jewish community, and so it's a sad development, very sad development, and I hope we all actually come together and ensure that something like this does not occur again.
And your views on the fact that maybe the actions of State of Israel has maybe partly, I guess, created an atmosphere in which people want to very illogically want to target the nearest people, I guess, who are somehow related, which is completely, at odds, right, with our beliefs, I guess. But do you think partly their actions, the extreme actions, of somehow maybe created an atmosphere in which some of these people can maybe justify their actions?
I think there are these issues. I mean, the fact that for past 2 years there is a I mean, what is happening in Gaza, for example, whichever way you look at it, there is a carnage, and there is a killing, death, and misery, and all that. But I mean, I think that is an argument, and that is a debate which we can have. But focusing on acts of violence against places of worship, is, I mean, and we are familiar with that. Many mosques in the past have been attacked, and people have also been individually attacked. Yeah. So I mean, we want to discourage this. In fact, we want to condemn such actions, no matter how people become incensed with what's going on. We all feel for the victims of violence, and the violence that has been waged against the people of Gaza, for example. And it is not only Gaza; it's also West Bank, and particularly in Gaza you have a relentless sort of militarized violence taking place, and indeed, whenever attempts were made to have a ceasefire, those in authority have actually broken the ceasefires. So I mean, that's something that does impact on people, one way or the other. But I think one would not actually wish that these things should lead to violence against vulnerable people who are at prayer, people who are who are in a place of if you like, safety in that sense. So it's more for us. It's more to do with seeing a cohesive sort of society. But that does not mean that you should not raise your voice against injustices, whether it is in the Palestine Israel case or any other Kashmir, or for example any other situation.
Yeah, I agree with you, Professor Zafar. I mean, anger over what's happening in Gaza cannot and must not translate into people getting angry and taking violent action here. It cannot and must not happen.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a situation where we're free to use our voice here. Use your voices and speak up. You know, with strength if you want to, but there's no place for what happened yesterday.
So we sent out a statement straight away. We sympathized and we express our solidarity with the congregation in this particular synagogue, and also urged that this should not happen in United Kingdom. In fact, it shouldn't happen anywhere, but we live in United Kingdom, and in our town here, it is a small town, but it is a very diverse town, and we have striven consistently over the years, whether it was 9/11, whether it was 2009 with EDL marches and all that. We stood up against extremism of that nature and hate, and this we consider it like that, and we wanted to make a point here that it is not acceptable. But of course, there are very serious, issues, and there are issues of justice, issues of equality, issues of freedom. And there are so many, and the responsible people also need to be taken to task. And responsible people here in those sort of contexts are people who are in power, whether in this country or any other country, or who have certain policies that actually not in fact conducive for a peaceful environment, whether it is in the any other, whether it is in Middle East, or whether it is in any other sort of trouble spot, or an area of conflict. For example, in Kashmir, that Kashmir issue is just as old as the Palestine issue, and many powerful countries have simply not played the role that they should play to bring about a just solution to very serious issues.
I'm going to have to call it a day in this discussion today. We've run out of time, unfortunately. We are bound by the boundaries of time. So thank you very much for your contribution today. It's been great to hear your voice again, I guess, on this particular matter. Listeners, this is it for today. Inshallah, next week, Abdul Akbar will be back again on this hot seat. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.